He's got a child.
Yes, guys, episode 20 of the Bikini Insider with my co-host Marnie. And I'm letting you guys experience what we have to experience every single week. And this is Kerry working
I
her
don't know what to
camera.
do. This is what we do every week, man. We can see, like, I
Ah,
fixed that quicker than normal.
I was hoping we'd get all the angles and the whole experience, but you guys have had the quick version.
Now I need to
Um,
actually set my angle up because you can't really see me.
Yeah, we got to set her up so we can see the Romania belt, so we can see the check in the background. Marnie's still not putting anything there.
Have you seen my story? I literally just put a story on Instagram saying I should probably hang my pro card up because it's actually right here.
Well,
So
I
I
tell
look
you,
at it, but you guys can't see it.
But it's okay because you're just saving the space for when you win the Fit Model show.
which leads me very nicely to the poll results that I put on
Oh
because it's
yeah.
now expired. So let's go through a 24-hour result because I put a story up saying, should Marnie do Fit Model Pro in 2026? Do any of you girls want to guess
Obviously,
of what was the
that's a
percentage
yes.
split?
From last week. Yes, that's a yes, a definite yes.
What
I
was the
think
percent?
that
What was the
there was
percentage split? Gone. Yes or no?
last time I saw it, the enjoy retirement was 16%. Because I remember saying,
Yeah, yeah.
is it just Jake making up the 16% on like all of his accounts?
No, I think Jake started putting all the bots afterwards because it's 70% that she should do Fit Model in 2026. 30% is saying she should happily be retired. But look, I mean, some of the people that said you should, let's go through some of the names.
Yeah,
Go
any
through,
any names that we would, yeah.
we'll go through some of the pros. So we got Alison, who's obviously gonna be at the Olympia. She said
No
yes.
way.
Wait,
Mark
this for should do Fit Model,
Yeah,
yeah?
these all. Yeah, I'm not going to do anyone who said she's saying retired. That'd be too harsh. Um, we've got Demonte, who competes on the NPC side for Lithuania. Allison, Mark Humphries, his classic physique. Angie Miranda, the first ever Ivy Pro in
No
fit model.
way.
She's saying you should do it. Yemi, who's doing it over at Olympia. There's a few other girls who compete in the NPC. And then enjoy retirement. I don't really recognize anybody who says, and there is one name, but I won't mention that person. Um, but yes, 70% said you should, Marnie. And I think you've been practicing some from other posing as well in your downtime.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the stallion pose, but only because, yeah, I've said this before, like it takes me back to when we started in bikini. Both of us, like,
For sure.
remember those days?
To be fair, I was looking back at some photos earlier and yeah, like it's mad. Like that pose was my it was my logo.
I
Um
remember,
the
yeah.
abs were, like pretty strong, like everything.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I tell you what, because what I'm doing, while we're just on the fifth model division, let me just bring up um the fifth model pro card winner from the Empro Classic. Which was happening on the weekend just gone. We are going to cover that in a moment. But I'll tell you what, while we're on the subject, let's just bring up the Fit Model Pro Card winner. And let me just scroll down to find it. Did you guys see it? See it by
I
chance?
don't think I did see actually, I'm trying to like sift
So
through memory, but
while I'm scrolling, I'll give you a bit of background. The girl is originally from the UK, but she moved to Australia probably about a decade ago, named Charlie, and she was the first ever Australian NPC Fit Model winner. And now she's
Mhm.
Ivy Pro in the division. Where is the video? Let me just keep scrolling.
Jeez.
Oh, here she is. There we go.
Nice.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So I think this was a second
It's
ever
a
pro
really nice
qualifier.
look, isn't it, to be fair?
hmm Yeah.
That front pose is just bang on like the Asher Cole Wasser pose that they kind of use as the
Yeah,
Yeah.
poster for the category. But yeah, I thought she looked pretty good.
yeah.
When we kind of look at some of the girls who've won a pro card, well done.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's
awesome.
got 'em.
Congratulations. It's exciting because I just feel like the list of pros now is getting longer and longer. So,
Have
yeah.
you listed out all of the pros actually?
Not for a while, because obviously I've stopped using the other channel, and I've
True.
not kind of kept updated on the pros, even though I'm pretty sure I could still list them. But I've counted this girl as part of UK because she's born and bred. So
Yeah.
technically, that is the 12th IFBB Pro of the year for UK. If just in case anyone missed it, the Empro Classic, we are going to be interviewing Carina, who won an IFBB Pro card representing UK, Tamas on the men's physique side, and Charlie on the Fit Model. So that's 12 so far, 30 to go to equal 2024 record.
Mm.
Crazy, isn't it? I'm just gonna grab some water. I apologize.
So yeah, okay, what's going on today? Let's just quickly go through it because we've got 3 interviews lined up, and yeah, we're back in business. Last week was a Q&A. Now we go straight back into it. So we're gonna start with Jess. Jess, who won a pro card, won an Olympia ticket at the Toronto Pro. Carina from the UK won a pro card at the Empro Classic. And then thankfully, Marnie corrected me already because I was going to say Tiana, but it's actually Tiana.
Tiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go. The third youngest Olympian in bikini. She's going to go Olympia this year behind Courtney. And who's the other girl? Someone give me the name.
Beatrice. She
Sorry?
got forgotten off of that post. Beatrice got forgotten off of that post. She was
Oh,
18 or 19 when she got her Olympia qualification, I believe. Who else was on that? I cannot even remember.
Can't remember who the other person is
it
now. How
was
ironic's that?
it was the Brazilian girl. Is it Brazilian girl? The Olympia
Oh,
winner.
Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, that segment will make us feel super old because what is she?
Sorry.
She's only 21. She turned pro
So
24
wild.
hours before
Oh,
she graduated.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible.
Sick.
I spent some time with her in the US actually. She's wicked. She's really cool. I'm so glad she's done it, to be fair. I'll save this for when she's on, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quality. Okay, I'll tell you what. While waiting for Jess to come on, let's just quickly recap the Empro Classic, and we'll go to the Pro Show because we did have 2 Brits in there. One being Kirsty, and obviously I haven't told you girls this, but after we recorded last week's episode, Kirsty dropped me a voice note explaining the reason why she changed from figure.
Drop me one as
Oh,
well.
there we go. Okay, so and look, fair play to herself because she got a result on the
Yeah.
weekend. Let me just
I was going to say, so kind of what did she say? Because I did not get the voice note.
Marnie, do you want to go through it while I bring up her page?
Yeah, so she said we pretty much got it bang on. We got it right when we did talk. So if anyone hasn't seen the previous episode, just go back and watch. But yeah, the jump to figure was obviously quite big. And
Yeah.
I think at one point, Kirsty said to me that she was a little bit worried about what everybody might think of her going back to bikini when she'd kind of put the statement out there of going to figure. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think, she was speaking to the right people around her and stuff, which is great. And they all just said, look, you've got to do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Like, screw what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
And she actually said that she's got 2 kids. One of her girls, I think it was Scarlett,
Yeah.
Kirsty was like in the gym doing some posing, and I think the girls were with her at the gym, and one of them said like, "Mummy, we don't like this posing." So
Wow.
she said like that was one of the kind of like wake up calls for her. Because obviously they've seen her do bikini, that they're only young. I'm not sure how old the girls are, but they've watched her compete for, well, since they were babies probably. So yeah, she was like, "Do you know what? I think it's a sign." And she also just said like, because I think she did the Empro, it was one of the last bikini shows that she did, and she really didn't like how she kind of presented that day. And I thought it was the Portugal Pro show that she did, but she was like, no, no, it was the Empro. And she said, that's why I've come back to do that show again, because I feel like I want a redemption and I want to like rewrite how this has all gone.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, she's done exactly that, hasn't she? Because
Yeah.
she
And
smashed it.
so good to see, especially when you know someone's been carrying like, that much amount of like doubt. And let's be real, there's gonna be people that have literally, even her putting this decision out there, have I've seen it on comments saying like going against her. So that must feel really good. And I'm glad that she's had this result because it's kind of like a bit of an FY to, you know, anyone that's doubted her, which I think is quite nice.
I think just I want to just use this as well because obviously we want to use the platform to just I don't know, maybe help someone that maybe is going through something similar. Like, yes, your genetics and your structure and whatnot will decide what class you are best suited to, but that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice what you truly want for your future and, what boundaries you're willing to cross and just what you want and what's going to make you happy at the end of the day, because everyone is going to have an opinion. Like, you're in a sport that is literally based on opinion, right? So, it's subjective. That's what we open ourselves up to. But I think, yeah, it just goes to show like staying true to yourself is always the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So I would share that. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. So yeah, she's definitely smashed it. I'm intrigued to know, um, is she doing any more shows and all that? I
Portugal. Yeah,
intrigued.
she got Portugal coming up.
Yes.
All right, okay, cool, amazing.
So yeah, no, fair. Well done, Kirsty. Look, I mean, you guys can tell me more better than other people, but again, when you break into that kind of top five placing for the first time, or your
Mm.
top six, getting a placing at a pro show, I guess that's a significant markup to
It
say
really
that's
is.
okay.
It feels
Next
like
level.
an actual win,
Yeah,
especially
Yeah.
when you really do not expect it. If it's like, yeah, a big lineup or whatever, it's like, what? Like I remember the first time it happened to me, and I was like, I remember walking off being like, I've just won. And like people were looking at me like delusional, like, what? It was when I placed third for the first time in Italy. And I was like, I've won, like I've won. Then they sent you off for that like top three, like confirmation. I was like, I've won. This is like everything. And that is one of the best feelings ever. That really was. It's
Yeah. I think
wow.
the people that don't know the sport like we do, or maybe haven't competed as a pro, I think you would hear like, oh, but you didn't like come first, second, or third, or whatever. But when the competition is that tough, it
Yeah.
really, like Kerry said, it feels like a win. When I got my fourth place at the Wombro Pro Show, it actually didn't sink in because I
Uh,
was already on a high from winning a pro card, so it kind of didn't really register that that had just happened. I was like, oh,
crazy, innit? That's so good.
yeah. So I think yeah, any pro show, whether it's Europe, US, it's such a big achievement. I even have talked down about that sometimes because I haven't won a pro show. But now that I've taken a step away from it, I'm like, no, that is still a
Yeah.
huge achievement to even
Massive.
like hang with athletes like that.
Yeah,
So
100%. Gee.
definitely. Well, look, our first guest is about to come on, and she could tell us all about her big achievement because she only made a pro debut earlier this year, and now she's already secured a ticket to Olympia, exactly where Kerry's going to be, and also one of our guests a little bit later on. And there she is. Jess,
hey,
Hey,
how are you doing? You're good?
I'm all good. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let me give you a proper introduction because I know the girls got some questions for you. You officially made your pro debut this year, is that right?
Yes, I
The
did.
how do you pronounce the show? The what
The
what
Wasatch Warrior
Wasatch?
Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
top six, but also more importantly, I would say more importantly, you got the best posing award, Gilco. I saw that have a trophy.
Yeah.
Then you got a top three in Miami, is that right?
Yes, I got third at Miami Pro Next. Yeah.
And then, and then of course, your third show, that's the one. Third pro show, you got your first place, you got your ticket to Olympia, you're Olympia qualified. I mean, how exciting is that? That your first year in competing has resulted into Olympia qualification.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it hasn't fully sunk in yet. Going into my rookie season, I don't think that was a thought I had. I was, genuinely, I was happy with first call outs going into my rookie season.
Yeah.
And after Wasatch, I think things kind of started sinking in a little bit, but it wasn't until Miami. And I remember when they had called me out and I was standing beside Ashlyn and Alice that I went, wait a minute, okay, what's going on right now? um, but the trajectory of what's happened is something I had no idea would be happening in my first season at all.
You look like a seasoned pro, can I just say, Jess? Like, I was
Oh,
a good
thank you.
stalk of your Instagram, and Suki, I feel like you need to pull up our Instagram and
About
just
to. I've got it set
yeah,
up.
get the pictures and videos up. But I just want to say again, obviously, huge congratulations. And I feel like there's so much we want to know about you as an athlete because yeah, you won your pro card last year. So
Yeah.
to take because we've spoke about this before, like the leap from like just turning pro to then being a top pro is big. So how has your time been then from stepping off stage winning your pro card, I guess? Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I won my pro card at the 2024 North Americans. I believe that was August of 2024. And so stepping off stage after that, I started working with a new coach. I started working with James Atlas.
Nice.
And I also worked with Corey. Corey, I've been working with him for quite some time now. He trains a lot of top level pros, Olympians, amateurs, very, very wide range of clients that he works with. But I've been working with him for, I would say, I think one and a half years. And it was through him that I really saw my physique change. And I truly, truly believe if I hadn't have met him, my physique would not have gotten to where it is now. Um, and so stepping off stage for my pro card win to pro debut, we really focused on bringing up my glutes, which has always been my weak point. And while trying to keep my quads from growing because I just genetically my quads want to grow.
You
So
look
that's
very, I was just
been,
gonna say, Jess, sorry to cut you off.
yeah,
You look very petite in height as well. How tall are you?
I'm 5 foot.
Okay,
Right.
same. Short girls
Yeah.
over here. Yeah, I think that can be a struggle sometimes for us, like more petite athletes, if we've got shorter legs, because everything looks more compacted and like our muscle is so bubbly and full and
Exactly. It's always
yeah.
cool. Wow, I feel like that is like a lot of time something most of us bikini athletes are trying to chill out.
Yeah.
Training wise, really intrigues me though. What was the difference from your training like before to when you were with Corey?
So previous to working with Corey, my program seemed, I would say, a little bit more generic. Like it didn't seem it was focused for bikini building. And I remember some of the movements I had were very um, quad heavy in those movements. And taking a quick look at me, that's something that I don't need. And so with Corey, he created a program specific for me where we were very cautious of any sort of knee flexion movements and really driving the point of that mind to muscle connection for me. And that's what I needed.
Sure. Amazing. Love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Jess,
What's the plan? Oh, I was gonna say,
oh,
what's the plan
yeah.
now?
Oh,
But
we'll lead on to that
oh,
question in one moment. I just want to ask because you mentioned about, this year you'll be happy if we just had first call outs.
Yeah.
But you had the rarity where actually on your rookie year, your placings were actually going up. So
Yeah.
at what point, and maybe before Toronto, At what point did your mindset shift from, you know what, right first call out, maybe I can actually get this Olympia ticket in my rookie year? Did that change at any
Yeah.
point?
It happened after Miami. That was when it really, that was when the wheels started turning in my head. It was sort of that validation that I got, after placing third at Miami, and I realized I was not only, standing beside Olympians, but pushing out other Olympians, and that was when I said, okay, this doesn't actually seem so far-fetched of a goal to work towards. And I remember the night before Toronto Pro, this is something I do at every show, but I wrote a note in my phone and just sort of mentally envisioning, sort of hearing it and then hearing my name being called. It's sort of like this manifestation thing that I do to kind of put me in that mindset. And I remember writing in my notes that I said, I'm going to win the show tomorrow. That Olympia qualification is mine. And I remember waking up and feeling so calm and laid back and going into the show. Like it was just, I couldn't have asked for a more perfect day. Everything's just sort of fell into place. So,
Oh, I love hearing stories like
yeah.
that.
All
Yeah,
of
we can, I think we can all relate because, well, we talk about mindset a lot and stuff like that is so powerful. Like it's just on the day you have a different frequency and the energy's different. And I think it comes across as soon as you walk out. And I mean, all the pros look incredible, but yeah, there's just something different. And I think, it's amazing winning the qualification, but when you can look back on the day and there was no stress and there was no like mishaps, because obviously things happen on show weekend, it's just even more memorable than when you can look back and, celebrate. So, oh, I love
Definitely.
it. I love
Jess,
it.
Definitely.
I've got,
Yeah.
I've got to ask now then, because obviously Marnie led with a question about what's going to happen next, going to Olympia. Have you written any mental notes moving
Ooh.
forward?
Oof. I even now still seeing my name on that list. I think I was just tagged in it yesterday, and I looked, and there's 53 pros and counting. We're still only in June right now. I haven't quite put anything down yet in my notes. Truth be told, I really don't think it's going to hit me until I get to Vegas. I'm going to be starting prep soon, and I'm excited. And this is like a new fire that is like giving me that energy to do this prep. Um, I would say I I don't know. I don't have any expectations for this. Would I love to go, to go there and place? Absolutely. But I know I'm going to be up against the best of the best. So even to be there is an honor for me.
Having a coach like James, obviously he's got so much experience
Mhm.
of like coaching Olympians and having girls do well at the Olympia. So like, is there a dialogue there in the sense of like he has, maybe you don't have an expectation, but has he said anything like that? Because obviously he knows what he's looking at and he knows what the competition's like in the flesh. So yeah, has there been any, like, how is the conversation with James about the Olympia now?
I mean, James had actually said at the beginning of my season that we're going to continue, building a physique that is worthy of getting to the Olympia because we are going to get there. And I remember when he said that, I went, okay, yeah, we'll get there one day. But his belief in me, his belief in my potential from day one has always been very strong. And he's pushed me and pushed me, to my physique changed drastically from even when I did my pro debut to when I won the Toronto Pro. And so when we spoke about the Olympia, obviously we want to be going up there for a placing. So top 15 would be something that is what we're aiming for. But we'll have to see. But that's what my goal is.
Jess, I want to flip back one moment, sorry, back to
Yes.
your pro debut.
Yes.
You won the best posing award. So did you get any feedback on what made you stand out ahead of the other competitors? But I know Gilco was already announcing that he will be investing into prize money for the Best Posting Award. I think that was the first one of the year as well.
Yes,
I
yes,
believe so.
yes.
So yeah, what was the feedback that you got in regards to why you nailed that posting award?
I don't know that I heard directly what the feedback was, but the general consensus was that um, they they said mine was the most captivating. They said it was the flow was very natural, and it looked like I was just gliding across the stage.
That's actually amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I bet you
Um,
felt like you won because it's like,
It's massive.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It really is. It's something again, like I genuinely go into these shows with I'm just happy to be here. I remember and even seconds before stepping out to do my routine, I was nervous. But at the same time, I've practiced it so many times. It's mind, that mind to muscle connection for me that I remember at one point when I was first walking out, and you might be able to see it, I was scanning the crowd. And that was a moment where I could feel for the first time that I was enjoying the present moment and just taking it all in.
Aw, you literally look phenomenal.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
watch I'm watching this and I can't believe this is your pro debut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
Obviously,
incredible.
this is your first time on the pro stage. You're
Yeah.
against other people who have been to Olympia, competed many times, and I mean, Kerry, Marnie, you're watching this, and Jess said like some of the feedback has been like it's yeah, being very captivating. What are you taking from her posing routine from what you're seeing right now?
Well, I can see like no mistakes.
look
Like, yeah,
good.
you look very, very comfortable up there. And I was just gonna say, like, that's even more special that you won that, knowing that this is the first time that you've done a pro routine, because obviously the step up from like the basic sort of amateur front pose, back pose, exit, where you've got basically hardly any time on stage to like, you come on, you do the walk to the front, the walk to the back, like to know that you were the best out of all the other pros who are like seasoned athletes in the pro league as well is like even more special.
It truly, truly is. And that posing is something I take very, very seriously. Like I practice, day in, day out and record and rewatch. Like I scrub through the video frame by frame. And I obviously work with a posing coach, with Victoria, who is on James' team. And without all of that, like the attention to detail, I think is what really pushed me. I'm sure everyone knows that James's attention to detail is it's very, very high. And even in check-ins, if there's any mistakes in your check-in photos, redo, right? We also send check-in videos. If there's any mistakes, redo. So I think that also really pushed me to nail my posing.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
sounds like obviously he set the standard. And once you have a standard set, then that's what you're going off, not just for your check-ins, but also whatever you do. I mean, look,
Absolutely.
Jess, look, I can't wait to see you at the Olympia this year. And we've got one of our own UK girls compete for the very first time in Kerry Sexton, who won her qualification back in Romania last
Oh,
year.
amazing.
Um,
Amazing.
So we'll
so
be
yeah,
there together for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to meet you. I've actually been following you for quite some time. I remember, I think it was at least a year ago, and I remember I was like, "Oh wow, she looks incredible." And I've always loved your posts. It's, everything you share is just vulnerable and so relatable. So, yeah, it's like a dream come true, getting to meet all these athletes that I look up to and follow. So, I'm so excited.
Oh, I love that. I really appreciate that too, honestly.
amazing.
Oh,
Yeah, Jess, look, best of luck at Olympia, and
Thank
wish you all
you.
the best for the for the road to Vegas.
Yeah, can't wait. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me.
Take care.
welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Oh, she's so sweet. That was a really nice way to end.
Can I
Yeah.
just say, like, just put it out there quickly? She saying that just really made me think. You guys probably wouldn't notice this stuff, I don't know, but I didn't post this week for like 5 days, which for me, I post every single day. Um, and I've just been feeling a bit lost in my content. I've had PMDD, which obviously I can't control, and that brings me down to a lower place. And usually I would share and speak about that. But I had someone tell me that they thought like my profile was like quite negative. And since I had like got told that, um, I kind of like enclosed myself. I wrote in my the Olympia Dream, what is it called? The Marnie, you can now access
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
That I
yeah.
wrote in there saying like this is the situation. That was like a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I just so that's it's really made me think because I just had an appointment as well, and the person there told me like because we were talking about it, and she was like, I used to love like your posts, and I was like, it's I've had all this feedback from different like mentors and stuff, and I feel like it's just gone like that, and I've gone, I can't post. So I'm gonna try and really bring that back to just being me because the fuck.
Yeah,
It's
go
just
for it.
honestly, it sent me just like to like I would look at my content and usually just be able to say stuff like in the moment, and I've just looked at it and gone, nah, I'm not posting tonight.
Well,
Yeah,
look,
it's
the next person I'm about to bring on now is another person that's looked up to both you two, because you both achieved exactly what she just achieved on the weekend. So let's just bring in Cariana, UK new IFBB Pro Bikini. There she is from Turkey, I believe. That's where you're on holiday at the moment.
I'm on holiday, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yay.
What I mean, God, you could not plan it better. Win your pro card, place top six in your pro debut, and then you get celebrated by going on holiday.
I was literally like, my boyfriend actually was like, let's go to Turkey when you get back. And I was like, yeah, why not? So we're backstage on the pro show, like
Oh,
booking like
yeah,
um
I
so
love that. This is amazing and massive congratulations.
oh thank
That we obviously did meet and yeah, buzzing
She's
for
got the
Yeah, well
IFBB merch
done.
on already.
Pardon?
She's got the IFBB merch on already.
oh, yeah.
For representing.
Well, look, I
Yeah.
mean, before I pass you on the girls, I mean, if you're ever going to win a pro card, then my God, do it in Spain because, I mean, one, you're up against some of the best girl amateurs in Europe. Production, as we know, Emilio is absolutely on point. But geez, you get a fair lot of stuff as well. You got the ring, right?
Yeah, I didn't expect. I thought only the pros would get the ring. So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. But I didn't know until they put it on, and it was so heavy. And they were like, okay, let's do the middle finger. And I was like, oh, okay. So I like put it on there. And then they gave me the tiara, and that was falling off. And I was like, what's happening?
Sachet as well.
But
Ah,
yeah, crazy. But I got a backpack, I got a ring, I
Yeah,
got what else? Obviously the pro card and an overall winner, and then the box of three, and then the medals as well.
yeah.
So pay extra for extra like baggage, which is fine. But yeah, it was a lot of stuff.
wow. That's
Oh, and
amazing.
the like the thing that says overall winner. So,
Yeah, sachet.
That is
yeah.
So, look, I mean, Karina, you just remind me, was it the week before, 2 weeks before, where you won the overall over at Two Bros?
It was not even a week. It was 6 days. So it was on a Sunday.
6 days. From
Yeah.
regional to
Um,
pro in 6 days. No, to regional to top six in the pro in six days. Let me take
yeah,
it further. That's
crazy.
outrageous. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, then again, I say that to my experience as well, but within a few hours
Yeah,
when
I guess
you win the
so.
pro card. But I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Korea. I just want quickly before I pass to the girls. Me and I know Marnie, Kerry, we spoke about some of the girls who could be Ivy Pro prospects for this year,
I listened
and
to I remember when that came out. I listened to it as soon as it came out. I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, well, obviously we mentioned your name. I remember you two. You spoke very highly about Karina because we did see you at some other shows last year, I believe, where you came close. And I think you both felt, you know what, this year could be the year, and as it's proved to be, she's now a pro.
Yeah, I mean last year was it was tough. I think I did like 5 or 6 shows, including the regionals, so it was a lot. Yeah.
What was your by the way, congratulations. What was your last show last year then? Because I remember seeing that you did the Europeans, right?
Yeah, so my last show was the British Championship. So I think that was October 19th. So that was my last show.
Okay. Okay. So what was the situation then when from getting off stage? I'm sure I saw you say on your story that did you keep this show under wraps? You weren't sure if you were gonna do it? Am I right in thinking that? Like how was your preparation for the show for this show?
Yeah, I was actually going to compete in July time. So my first show was planned on, it was going to be Portugal, so the Olympia Amateur. And my coach really wanted me to do FIBO, but I said I can't because I'm actually a full-time master student. So I was just like, yeah, no, I can't do that because I have exams. But he wanted me to do the Olympia Amateur in Spain 2 weeks ago. And I said I can't because I have my final exam that day. So the earliest I could do is Empro, but I don't want to be like 2 weeks out when I'm doing my exams because that's like for me the worst part of prep, being 2 weeks out. And he was like, okay, let's go 5th of July, but do the regional. You will be ready, but it's okay. It's just the regional. So I said, okay, yeah. So I did the regional, won the overall, and then he was like, don't book Spain yet. But because I was like, I want to do Empro, I want to do Empro, and he was like, don't book anything yet. Like I don't know. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. I don't want to go if I'm only going to be at 80%. But I had a client who wanted to compete there as a fit model. So she was like, please do it. Please do it. We could go to Spain. I said, okay, I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So we really had to dig deep in the final like 2 weeks. And we made it. So on Wednesday, so the show was on Saturday, the Empro. And on Wednesday, my coach messaged me and said, we'll be ready. I said, okay, let's go. So
Yeah, I remember because I messaged you. I messaged you saying I'm a temp. I said, hey, are you competing this weekend? You just won the overall at two rows. Why wouldn't you be? And you just respond with emoji like that.
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay. Probably not then. Next thing about Thursday, got tagged on the post from yourself. And then you're like, oh, now we are.
that thing. I went into the show and I just didn't care because I was like, I'm not even supposed to be here. I wasn't even supposed to like be here. So whatever the result is, I'm happy. Like I just got to see my client compete. First international show ever. Second show in her life. So I was just like, I'm just gonna compete for the fun of it because I want to be here for her. And then it just worked out. So yeah.
Let's just relive this moment. Walk me through what you're
Oh,
thinking.
Thank you for these posts, by the way. They were so amazing, like to see.
oh, that's so lovely to have that captured.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah,
films.
just looking at this now. But look, I mean, geez, let's move away from the amateurs because you had a pro show the day after.
Yeah. That was crazy. My coach was like, "Are we doing it?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah." Uh, Thank God I booked my flight for Monday. So I actually no Sunday night. So I was like, "Okay, I could do it. Yeah, let's do it." So literally he was like, "All right, I need you to go backstage, have this meal." It was like cream of rice, whatever, and then go out and have a burger. And I was like, "What?" Like what? He's like, you need to have burger, chips, and don't drink. And I said, okay. He said, don't drink too much water, and we'll be good. And I was like, okay, like whatever. I'm not gonna say no, but also risky. And he said, it's okay. And I went to Tyler and the judges afterwards, and I said, okay, so for tomorrow, what feedback can you give me? Like, do I need to come in like fuller, tighter? They said, you just need to enjoy it. And I was like, no, but what do I need to do? They're like, enjoy it. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy it. I went out with my client who won her class, and we um, had the burger and chips and whatever, and then we like went home and slept. And then the next day, I woke up and I looked even better than the day before. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we have to do this every single time now.
I
Right?
bet
Oh,
stress probably dropped off from the initial show as well, which is like huge, isn't it? So, and your client winning, it's all that good cortisol spreading around your body. So the perfect look, you must have woke up so bang on.
I could barely sleep. I was like, he was like,
I
try
was
go.
just about to ask that. Yeah, how did you sleep? Were you not just because I know when I won my pro card, I didn't want the whole day to end, but obviously you've just got all these emotions and the adrenaline. I bet you were just lying in bed like this.
Oh,
Yeah, I got like 2 a.m. and then Mike, I was texting my coach. I was like, okay, what am I eating tomorrow? What are you like? What time do you want me to check in? I don't even know when the show is. He's like, get to the venue at 11. And he said, just wake up, check. I'm going to be up. And then he said, just go to bed. I was like, I don't think I can. He's like, well, you have to. So I just did for like 3 hours, woke up, and I had my makeup of the day before because my makeup artist couldn't fit me in. So,
Oh,
so I had to sleep like
oh my
straight.
God.
Oh,
Stop.
no way.
Horrible because the first thing I do at every show is remove my fake eyelashes as soon as I get these off me. And then my makeup artist was like, "Come, I have like 10 minutes. We can do touch up." So I went to see her, and then one of the pros, Rukia, was like, "You haven't tanned yet. You need to tan." And I was like, "Yeah, shit." So I went. Didn't even get a tan, just glaze. They were like, "No, glaze, go."
And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, your number gets called out for first call out, right?
yeah. I was like, "What?"
Look at your badge again. Like, it's my number.
Is that me? That is literally amazing. Have you got any more shows planned? That's what I want to know.
My coach was like asking me the same, and I was like, I need to decide. I need to like basically see because what's it called? I have um oh, what is it? I got feedback from Tyler, and he was like, you just need to grow. Like you need to grow. So it wouldn't make sense for me to compete, like to keep going because like I said, I really had to push myself in the last 2 weeks of the prep. Like it was very, very hard. So I just kind of want to like thank my body for that and just recover. So yeah, I don't really know.
Especially if you're studying as well, Karina. What is it that you do, just for anybody that isn't aware? Like you said, you're a master's student.
Yeah, I'm a master's student at UCL and I study clinical nutrition and public health. So
No way. I literally got a place to do that course. I think,
what?
yeah, in 2021, 2020. Yeah, and I declined it. Yeah, that exact
I,
course at UCL. That's
I did
crazy.
that. That's amazing.
How is it? I bet it's not easy.
No, I finished my exams as well. And I'm literally backstage and I'm getting like the results of the exams and I'm like stressed about the stage and then stressed about my exams. And I'm like, oh, okay. I did that. I did that. Okay, sweet. So, but I just have my dissertation to write now. So I have like a little break. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have only this month to compete. So if I didn't get the pro card now, I would have tried in Italy and then in Portugal, and that would have been like it. Like I would have been like, okay, whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Save yourself a couple of flights. There you go. Well, look, Karina, huge congratulations again. That
Oh,
makes, yeah, on the day, you were then the 11th UK IFBB Pro of the year. Second Bikini Pro behind Lowry, who won it earlier, but you are the first one to win it on international soil. I don't count Ireland. But that's not first on Lowry. But
but
yeah,
I was watching her and I was like, damn, she's so good. Um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support and like the posts that I was running backstage and seeing like the stories being like, oh, what did I look like? What do I need to pick?
Aw.
Yeah,
congratulations again. Well, look, best of luck. Well, enjoy the rest of your holiday. That's the most important thing.
Enjoy
Enjoy
the
that.
win. Yes,
so
enjoy.
much. Thank you guys. And yeah, see you
Well done.
Take care.
soon. Bye.
Ah, there we go. Another IFBB Pro to join the bikini ranks.
Oh, how amazing, honestly.
Bring back memories of when you guys won your IFBB Pro card.
Legit.
Every
So
time I see the reaction videos, especially of like when they announce someone's name, like it just hits there because you feel the feeling. Yeah.
you know what?
Well, the next oh, sorry. Oh, Kerry's gonna say something.
I am
Oh,
only because it's like I need to find the video. It might be on my old phone. Basically, when they did the overall for when I turned pro in Iceland, they made us stand straight on. So they couldn't decide, yeah. I swear to God. And I didn't know whether to flex my quads, not flex them. I was like, what? I've never been told to do this. They made us stand, like straight on,
Really?
dead straight on. I don't know what was going on. I'll have to find the video, but yeah, I've never seen that in a pro show before.
No way. What did they just literally say face the front?
Yeah, they said like, can you all just face the front? And we were all like, wait, what
Is
does
it
that mean?
The only time I've ever seen a judge ask to do that at a show is when somebody had their badge on the wrong hip.
I have no idea why, but it was for all of us to stand straight. And I was like, do you flex? Do you not? Do you flex? Do you not? Anyway, yeah,
Anyway, we got our next guest, our final guest of the day. Let's bring her in because she's now fourth youngest bikini Olympian in history,
that is
and that
literally
is
Here
insane.
she is.
Diana.
Hey,
Hello.
Oh,
you guys
congrats.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All good.
Okay, perfect. Yay.
Hey, first off, let's just get out. I think all three of us just want to say a huge congratulations on what a result on the weekend.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It still hasn't hit me yet, if I'm being completely honest. Like I keep replaying the moment in my head and I'm just like, I feel like I'm gonna get a call and they're gonna be like, oh, we're revoking your qualification, actually.
Never. You fully
That's
deserve
how I
it.
felt. That's how I felt when I got my pro card. I was like, I feel like I'm being pranked right now. I feel like they're gonna take away my pro card.
Dan, could you do me a quick favor before we just go into the weekend just gone? Because I know obviously we've got a lot of UK listeners and over here, and could you just give a little background on your
Yeah.
journey in turning IFBB Pro?
Yeah, of course. So I started competing when I was 17. I started my first prep in
So
high school, my last year of high school. So I was applying for college and doing prep at the same time. And then I competed in 4 shows my first ever season, and I was very lucky and blessed to earn my pro card on the fourth show. So my second national show, I earned my pro card. And it was really a proud moment for me because the day before I graduated high school and then I got my pro card. And then I got into my dream college that same day as well. So it was just a really special moment for me. And it just, was a testament to show me that like, whatever you put your mind to, you can make it happen. Just don't listen to self-doubt. So that's how I got my pro card. And then I took an off season and then I did my rookie pro season about a year later. I did 7 shows my rookie pro season. And the feedback was just muscle maturity. You just need to grow. And I was stubborn. I was like, but I'm having so much fun. And I just like wanted to continue going. But I mean, we shut it down and then, 2 more seasons after that. And then I got my qualification this season.
Dan, I just wanted to jump in very quickly.
Yeah.
You did 4 shows during your
Hmm.
final year at a high school. So,
Yes.
like, how was that? How was that like perceived in friendship circles and those people in school? Because of course,
Hmm.
at that age, you have the normal distractions of any
Yeah.
kid. Look, let's say the word kid, because that's what we are at that age.
Mhm.
So what was that like? I mean, how was that perceived in your friendship circle?
So for the most part, it was perceived pretty well because so I'm not sure if they do this in the UK, but there's a program called Running Start in America, and it's where you have the option to take college courses and college classes when you're still in high school. So I was doing that program called Running Start, so I wasn't technically on my high school campus. I was doing like I was going to a college campus or doing online. So I wasn't really hanging out with many people. I had friends, obviously, but friends from afar, like friends that I grew up with in elementary and middle school, but I mostly stayed to myself in high school. And I had a close group of friends, and lucky for me, a few of them did bodybuilding as well, like worked out, went to the gym. One of them, well, he's my boyfriend now, but we were best friends for 4 years. So he was in that friend group. So he was always very supportive. And he came to my second ever show and my first ever national show. So it was perceived pretty well with those close in my corner, but just general people in my school, they did think it was strange. But I didn't really feel the need to explain it to them just because they weren't close in my corner. They were just, acquaintances, so there was no need to explain anything. So,
Quality.
yeah.
I tell you what, we just spoke about a moment ago about, I
Mhm.
think, Kerry, you said you love reaction videos.
Yes.
Let's get up my favorite reaction video of
Oh,
the
I
year
love it.
so far. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to play it, and I
Hmm.
want you to talk me through what
Okay.
was going through your head for this
Okay.
time. And you know where this is going. So
Yes.
let's grab it. Here we are. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so
My
what's going through
mom.
your head at the moment? Because we're waiting for the second place name to be called out.
Oh gosh, I honestly so
Oh,
There
it's
she
funny
is.
Oh,
because I honestly was like crying. I don't know if you can see in the video, but I had like tears blurring out my mascara and everything. And Nade had to like wipe my face for me as I was like on the stage getting my medal. But what was going through my head was just like, oh, they called fifth through third, so either I'm second place or I just didn't get in the top five. That's just what I was thinking. And the reason that I was thinking that was just because like it just felt too good to be real. Like it felt like something that I've been dreaming of for so long. Like it's still like just shocking me because I'm just like, how is this possible? Like, how did this happen? Like, that's why I say it's a miracle because I truly didn't think that I was going to win. I didn't even expect first call outs, if I'm being honest. Like, I was very proud of the physique that I brought, but I also understood that muscle density. I still need muscle density in the long run. So I just that's always in the back of my head. So I'm like, I could either do really well or not do well. So I just really wasn't expecting it. I looked into the audience and I saw my mom, and before finals she was telling me, she was like, I think you can do this, I know you can do this, I believe in you, I believe in you. Like I was talking to your grandma and she's praying for you right now, my grandma in Thailand. So she was like, we know that you can do this, like the God is with you, like you can do this. And I was just like, she's of course going to say that because she's my mom, but seeing her words come to life, that's what made me so emotional. And also, for me, I've said this so many times, but I didn't want my moment to be just my moment. I wanted it to be for everyone because throughout the years, I've had so much belief in me and so much support, and so many of my friends and family and all the people that I've connected with online telling me that you will qualify one day, just keep going. It's not an if, it's a when. And I never really thought that that day would ever come, just because for a while, I mean, I don't do this anymore, but when I first turned pro, I did identify with my age a lot. And I've, let go of that now because age is just a number. But for some time, I thought that my age was my limiting factor and that I would never be able to get to the Olympia because of how young I was. But it was cool to prove myself wrong and like have that moment for everyone else too, because so many people out there like just they told me, like a lot of people told me when I win, if I win, like it would be their win too. And it was just so cool to see that come to life.
oh,
Very quickly.
I'm so happy for you, but we knew it was gonna happen. I said
I
this to you before.
I really did not expect it at all. And that's just me being honest. Like when I was in the first call outs, and I was at the edge for a while, and when I first got there, I was like, okay, like that's okay. Like today's just not my day. I'm just probably gonna be like in that fifth to seventh place, and that's okay. And then they started moving me in, and I was just like, this is exactly what I dreamed of, like in my head. Like this scenario, I've envisioned it in my head, and to see it just come to life, that was surreal. And then I just initially I thought, okay, it could either be two things. They're taking top two out of the middle, like towards the third to fourth place, so they can judge who they want through that 3 to 5 spot. So I thought I was fighting for like third to fifth the whole time. And then the other like assumption or like guess would be, okay, this is a miracle. Like I could win. So it was like two things going through my head.
you try and put yourself, I think you try and put yourself in like scenarios like why it might not be.
Exactly.
You did.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa. And then anything else from that is obviously like a bonus, literally.
Yeah.
But it is such a surreal feeling, isn't it, when you're getting moved in and you're like, you don't, in the end,
Yeah.
like, you're not even sure where you are. You're just
Yeah,
like, right,
exactly.
what's
And I
happening?
know you know the feeling too, because when you were getting your qualification, I know you had to fight, and you fight through that energy that you bring on stage, that posing, everything, and it's just surreal seeing it all come to life.
Oh, how amazing. Oh, it's literally unreal. Makes me so happy for you.
I
I'm
think
just so humbled and blessed. Like I'm always gonna say that, always, because it's honestly such a blessing.
but
Can
you
I
work
ask?
hard for it. I just want to say, like, you are so self-aware as well, which, we love the mindset chat. I've said this like 3 times on this
Yeah,
episode already, but like the way that you approach the sport and how patient you are and how committed you are. And I know you've talked about age and things like that, but I know that you will just keep going no matter how long it would have took you. And I think because of the fact that you said I wasn't expecting it, I think that's why it happened for you, because that was your moment and there was no expectation. It's like your energy was exactly where it needed to be and it just unfolded.
yeah.
So, yeah.
It was the perfect time, perfect place, perfect moment. So like when I say that it was a miracle that I won, because a lot of people say like don't undermine yourself, don't say that it was a miracle. My definition of like the miracle was that like it was truly the perfect moment because I had competed at Nevada State in 2023 when I had just turned pro and I didn't place at that show. I think I got third or fourth call outs and it was the first like poor placing that I've gotten because it was like my second ever show. So going from like not placing at all to then winning the show 2 years later. And it was also the show where I first met Adam in person and Ashley. I met her before that, but it was cool seeing Ashley win that show at that time. And I remember introducing myself to Adam, being like, "Hi, like I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you since I was 14, and I hope that one day I can work with you." And it was, you know, it was just such a full circle moment, and I just truly I think it was God's gift to allow me to win at this show because everything that had happened after that show had led me to that moment. So I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful.
I, I want to ask because I mean, look, you already mentioned her name
Yeah.
already, Ashley Colwasser. I mean, let's just say
Yeah.
you're only 51 pro wins away from equaling her at 21. The sky's the limit. But look, let's
Ashley is the best. She's my biggest inspiration. I'm really lucky because we're friends too. So seeing her in the audience, because initially I thought she was going to do the show. I actually messaged her during peak week and I was like, "Where are you on the list? I thought you were doing this show." And she was like, "No, I'm not doing this show because I'm doing another show." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Like, I wanted to be backstage with you, but I guess that's fine." But
I can go to Olympia, right?
no, I wanted her to do that show with me because whenever she's doing the same show with me, I feel it's a weird feeling, but I feel more safe, if that makes sense, because she's so like experienced and she just knows exactly what to do, exactly where to go. And when I did Vancouver with her the past 2 years, we had our little area backstage with our team and everything. So it was secure. So that's why I wanted her to do the show with me. And I thought she was going to.
Do you remember what she told you after you got your pro win?
She So she, it's actually really cute. I was taking pictures with Adam, and then out of nowhere, she just appeared. And she was like, "Tiana, like, let's get a picture." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes." And then we all took like a team picture and everything. And it was just really cute. And I saw her in the audience during prejudging too. And when I got moved in, she was just smiling and her and Adam were just like, "Yes, yes, like keep going, keep smiling." And that energy just like I almost cried when they moved me in. So lucky for me when they moved me in, they asked us to turn to the back. So as we're turning to the back, I'm like trying
Oh,
not to cry. And I'm sure all the girls in the lineup were just like, "What is wrong with her face right now?" Because I was literally trying to hold back tears.
It's so
amazing.
nice that it was like in Vegas as well, right? Because
Yeah.
I guess, you had like as well. I just want to say, like, Tiana and I met at the Nashville Fit Show last year and we were backstage together. And I've also met Tiana's mum, and she is just like #1 fan, isn't she? She's at every show. She's amazing. So it's just really nice hearing, like, what she said to you and stuff like that. Because I mean, she's been to that many shows. She also knows what she's looking at now as well,
Yeah.
doesn't she? Like, she's clued up.
She's so funny because So she understands what the carb loads do and like eating into shows does and all that stuff. It's so funny because when we got to Vegas, I was very lean. I was drying out from the heat. So she told me, she was like, Adam's going to feed you, right? Because you're too hard right now. You need to soften up. Like that's literally what she said.
Oh
And I was
wow.
like, wow, I'm really impressed with your verbiage right now and like all that terminology. And she's like, yeah, you need to eat more carbs. We need to get your glutes to be fuller, like bigger. And I was just, I just said, I know, like Adam will do that. Don't worry. We can't just carb load all in one day. Like it needs to be spread out.
Oh. I was gonna
It's
say
so
like
funny.
it's so good as well that like you were in Vegas, Adam was there, and like now you will know how your body, I mean, I know you've done a lot of shows, but like I guess in a way it's kind of like a trial run for the Olympia. Am I right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, because the Olympia will be in Vegas.
of
So
course.
but it's in October. I'm not sure if it's going to be cold in Vegas in October. I don't think it will be cold, but I don't
Mm,
know. 'Cause the last time I was in Vegas, like for the Olympia last year, it was pretty warm. So, you
yeah.
know.
I don't think
Mhm.
it'll be, I think it'll still be pretty warm.
Yeah, I
It's
think so.
dry. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's meant to be like
basically, do you
29.
think then for the Olympia you're just gonna be eating all the carbs? Is that gonna be the protocol?
I hope so. I love filling out because the thing is, I like coming in a little bit leaner so I can fill out to the max and spill over a little bit without looking spilled over. However, I will admit my quads were striating a little bit on stage at this show. I even asked the judges about that, but they said it wasn't a big deal, but I mean it's something that Adam really wanted to fix. That's why he prefaced that this was my me at my 95% best. It was our best to date, but 95, like he thinks we can be better than this by softening up the quads a little bit. So we're gonna definitely have to play around with some different, methods to soften everything up. I think another method, I might start doing like some body weight lunges backstage just to get a little bit of blood flow in the quads, maybe just to kind of soften them, but we'll kind of have to play around with that.
With your like carb load, like what
Mhm.
did that kind of look like? Was it a big carb load or like
It, in all honesty, even though like it was a big carb load, if you're comparing it to like other carb loads in terms of, because I know that there are some people out there that need 700 to 800 carbs to fill out. That's not for me. I the most carbs that we will eat going into the show is a little bit over 300, but we heavily load the fats to make the carbs stick.
yeah,
So Adam has me for my fat source, we do grass-fed butter because that works best for me and it actually sticks to my body. If I do like peanut butter or almond butter or other fats, for some reason my body it just doesn't stick with my body. And I think it's because of the trace amounts of protein in like nut butters as well. So just having like a pure fat, it helps the carbs stick. So I believe I was eating 2 to 3 tablespoons, which is about 14 to 28 grams of butter per meal, and I have 5 meals a day. And then about 60 to 70 carbs per meal. So it was a lot of food, and I loved every moment of it.
it's always
Yeah,
like that, isn't it? You're just like, yes. But that's really good that you've found foods that you feel like work for
Yeah.
you. That's
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's cool because I never would have thought that I would be eating butter as a bodybuilder because all the stigmas and the moral, like dichotomizing things as good and bad in the food industry and stuff. So most people when they see that I'm eating butter, they're like, "What? Like you're a bodybuilder though. Why are you eating so unhealthy? Why are you eating butter?" But it helps with like all those stigmas too because we eat different things. Everybody's different. Everybody's body reacts differently. So there's really no good or bad in any food group.
scary,
did I
literally.
did I say correctly? I'm just intrigued on. I was on your page. Did I see? Are you sponsored by Cutler Nutrition?
Yes.
So yeah, obviously, I mean, did you? That's pretty cool because obviously Jay Cutler is like one of the
She's
goats. Did he message you afterwards, or did you hear from him at all?
I met him after I turned pro when I was, yeah, in 2022. I was at a gym in Las Vegas Fit Club, and I met him, and we were just talking, and he gave me a lot of encouragement. And then he introduced me to his fiance Angie, and from there, we just have always been in contact, and I'm very close with Angie and Jay. And then in 2024, Angie reached out to me and said, "Hey, like, are you with the supplement company right now?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And then I just, decided to go down that route and be sponsored by Cutler Nutrition. So I've been with them for a little over a year now, and it's awesome. I love their products and everything, their supplements.
Any chance you could be associated with Jay Cutler is only a good thing. That's epic. I wanted to ask you this as well before we kind of just touch on Olympia 2025. Uh,
Mhm.
Obviously, Marnie mentioned about your mum, and even when you mentioned about the fact that she dropped your message, it seems that there is a very closeness between yourself and your mum and your family. I want to ask, what's been like the one
Mhm.
piece of advice, the best piece of advice your mum's given you that you feel that, you know what, it resonates with you on a daily basis, especially within bodybuilding?
Yeah, I would say she always tells me anything is possible. From day one, when I first started competing, she told me, "I believe in you. Miracles can happen. Anything is possible." And when she says that, she really does mean it. I look at her as a huge, motivator, and she's my biggest inspiration because when she was my age, like 21, she immigrated here from Thailand. She didn't know how to speak English. She didn't know any of the cultural norms, and she really didn't know anything about American culture, and she came here just with a couple $100 in her hand, ready to work towards a dream. Her brother had passed away in Thailand before she had immigrated here, so she just wanted to start a new life for herself and everything. And she worked her way up. She worked at a Thai restaurant. She taught herself English. She went to a community college and she learned English. And she had a dream. She always wanted to open up a restaurant. And to see her dream actually come to life, she opened up her restaurant the same year that I turned pro. And to see that dream come to life and her education and just everything she's worked for just happen, it gave me hope that something that I want, something that I've been dreaming of can happen one day too. And I use her story as a reminder that there are no such thing as limitations. There's no such thing as impossible. If you truly want something, you go after it and you don't listen to the hate. You don't listen to what people put on you because at the end of the day, everybody's going to have their perceived narrative of you, their perceived thoughts of you, and people are probably going to have their opinions, and everybody's entitled to their opinions. You just have to learn to weed out the good and the bad and just keep going. And her words always stick with me because if she did all that and was able to be successful, why not me too? It's not like there's no specific timeline on when my time will come, but I just trusted that it would happen one day. So, yeah.
There's no doubt now that she's probably living the American dream, seeing you on the
Yeah.
weekend earn that ticket to Olympia, which is incredible. Let me ask you this. Olympia 2025, we've got one of our own, Kerry Sexton. She's going to be
Yes,
here for
I'm
the first
so excited
time.
to engage with her. I'm so excited.
I think Marnie's going to be traveling over there as
I'm gonna
well.
be in the
Oh my
crowd
God, I'm
screaming.
so excited. You told me too. You told me we were like texting a couple, I think it was like a month ago, we were talking about it, and you said, "Hopefully I'll get to see you on the Olympia stage too when I'm there." And
Meant
I
what
was
I said. I meant what I
excited.
said, gal. I'm gonna come see you at the athletes meet and greet and everything. Can't wait.
I'm honestly that's what I'm most excited for is seeing
That's
everybody
awesome.
like at the meet and greet. That's if literally if they decided, "Oh, you don't need to step on stage, you just do the athlete meet and greet," I would be okay with that too. Like I'm
Fill
so
the
excited
gap.
for everyone. I love seeing people.
Special.
I was going to ask that question. I was going to ask, what are you most looking forward to at the Olympia?
Hmm.
And
The
is
meet
it
and greet.
the meet and greet?
Yes, I want to see everyone. I want to thank everyone in person. I had so much support this weekend, and I wish I could just fly out to each person and individually thank them and hug them. Like my heart is just bursting full. I'm so excited to see everybody at the Olympia. So I'm so excited. Like I get all excited and jittery thinking about it because I love thanking people in person and telling them how much I appreciate them.
I don't know how we carry on from that.
I know. So sweet.
112 days to go.
12 days.
112.
I was gonna say
Oh,
I only
Yes,
heard
next weekend.
12.
12 days to go. See you there.
Days, that's gonna come by fast.
I'm not ready yet.
Yeah. No, yeah, 112 days. That will come by fast though. If you think about it, 16 weeks,
Yeah,
it'll come by very fast.
I guess another iconic moment, and Kerry, you could touch on this as well, is when you receive your Olympia tracksuit, your very first one.
Yeah,
That's
that's
going to
gonna
be
be.
Oh,
iconic.
I've not even thought about that actually.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that is literally gonna be wild.
I'm gonna be living through you guys. Can't wait to see it.
It's
Well,
so amazing. I want to get pictures with you guys too.
Oh, of course. All the
Yeah.
pics.
well, look, Tyler, once again, a huge congratulations on the
Thank you so
weekend.
much.
What a result. And
Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm pretty sure the listeners will be like, "Okay, we get it. You're grateful. You can stop saying that now." But like I will never stop saying thank you. This is all such a blessing.
amazing. Well, look, wish you all the very best leading to
Thank you.
Olympia. And yeah, look forward to see what happens that weekend, whatever happens. I mean, my God, you create history. You're the fourth youngest bikini Olympian. And let's also, let's not forget as well. I know we talked about, they've dropped notes about Courtney being 19 and
Mhm.
what was the other ones again? How old were they?
Uh, so Beatrice went to the Olympia when she was 19, no, 18 or 19. So it was Beatrice Bishop, and then Courtney King went when she was 19, and then Isa Pacini went when she was 20, and then me being the fourth one, 21.
But those three, what year were they?
Courtney King was 2013,
You
Isa
know,
Pacini was 2016, I believe, and then Beatrice,
I need.
she was 18, and I believe Beatrice is 25 now or 24.
Teen then.
2018. So the reason why I say that
Yeah.
is because like the bikini division is the growth of it versus then in regards to the numbers, it's
Yeah.
like it's very rare for someone of such a young age now to qualify when the division is so big in regards to
I,
other
It's
competitors.
I
it's
would say the stakes are high for you
it's
winning.
evolved a lot, and I do like I will be the first to say I need more muscle density in the long run. I need at least 3 to 5 pounds more lean mass for sure. So to see that I was able to qualify with the amount of muscle that I have now, I feel very, very grateful. But I'm also excited because I have a lot to work towards.
Surely you can see how bright your future is because Courtney is like,
Yeah,
you know what I
look what
mean?
they
There's a
got.
thing here, there's a trend. There's a trend. So
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
that's my dream, and I want to see you up there, like winning Miss Bikini Olympia too. I really do. There's a few set people in our division who I truly like have I create little timelines in my head for people, and I think to myself, okay, I think Brittany can win in like 3 years Miss Bikini Olympia. I think Kerry can win in X amount of years. Like I always just have belief in all of my peers, and I'm excited to see all of us get to the top together.
Yes.
Amazing. Hannah, we'll leave it as that. Thank you for so much for joining us.
So much for having me. It was so fun.
Amazing. You
Yeah.
take care.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your night.
You too.
Bye.
All right.
What a
So
sweetheart.
I literally love her so much.
Go on,
She's so,
Kerry. Go win the Olympia now. Like she said.
I wish, I wish, I wish, I wish. We'll keep working.
I I can't get over that. She's so profound for a 21-year-old.
Yeah,
Obviously, very passionately speaking,
It's
very
very eloquent.
reflective. Like I
Yeah.
said, very self-aware. It's yes,
switched on, just everything.
But I
So
think I think although she keeps mentioning things like muscle maturity, like anybody can have a bit of muscle, but I think like again we've said mindset, like that needs to be in the right place. You need to be self-aware, and I think that's one of her strong points as well as an athlete.
and
So
as well, I wanted to say this like so many times throughout, but I just couldn't. She also said something about when she turned pro, it was like luck. And I was like, no, like you've obviously worked hard. Like you've obviously worked hard. It's not like luck, is it? Let's be real. Like you've worked hard. So if she's listening to this now, it wasn't luck.
I don't know if she'll watch it back, bless her.
I know, it wasn't luck.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, look, this weekend, not too much going on this weekend. We haven't got anyone from the UK competing in any of the pro shows. That's really over the US. We got Ashley Colwasser. She's back competing this week,
Woo!
her second show of the year.
We didn't
But
even, oh yeah, we did actually. We did talk about her show that she won, the 51st. Let's
yeah,
see if
last
this is
week.
going to be number 52 for the next one.
I'm
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
Amazing.
you would imagine that. And of course, next weekend is next week Portugal, I think. I don't know. I
Uh,
can't,
oh, I'm really
I don't
not
know.
sure.
I need
To
to
be
check.
honest with you, the biggest thing in my head at the moment is the next UK show because we've got
Is that
the,
July?
yeah, 5th of July. Yeah.
Is
I've
that the
got the,
MK one?
I'll be there.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I've got
yes.
4 people competing. Fit model, 2 masters, and someone else in bikini as well. So
I've got 6 bikini girls competing, so it's gonna be, yeah, it's a big show, I think, because it's open and natural show, both of
yeah,
them
How
in
is
the
it?
same day. Yeah.
so there's like so many. I've got a few posing clients and then a few that are doing natural and open as like online coaching. But yeah, it's going to be such a good show. I think it's big as well.
Isn't that the last regional before the Train by JP
Yeah.
International?
Yeah,
Mhm.
So I think
yeah.
so, yeah. So that would obviously be the reason why people will be
Um,
competing it.
Mm.
Wicked. Okay, well, look, that is our wrap. So, guys, drop in the comments. Drop in the comments any questions I should be asking Kerry and Marnie for next week. Because I think
uh,
I might only have 2 guests. I might have we have a time slot to throw some questions. So, yeah, please drop a comment. Give me some questions. Give me some questions, or DM the BTS page. That'd be fantastic. Awesome. All right, girls, that's a wrap. Speak to you girls next weekend.
Bye.